Oops. Hey guys, how are you? It is 8:30. It is time to get started. Trying to figure out how to turn my phone off because life is hard. Okay. Hi guys. Hi Afra. Hi Jody. Appreciate you guys all being here. Sorry, my sage is still smoking. So today is 411. Great number for a day. And I don't know if you guys have been experiencing it, but the synchronicities have been crazy. Hey, Taryn, how are you? Lots of 4s and 11s today, lots of 7s and 11s and 11 17s and all kinds of stuff. So really some great energy out there, although I have been kind of tired, not going to lie. Hi, Anna Zanka. Nice to see you. And Afra. After things are going a little differently now, I'm pulling cards for energy exchange donations first, and then once those are all done, then I go ahead and pull other cards for other people. Remembering oneness, how are you? Thank you for coming. So the way we're going to start is we're going to do our usual. I'm going to go ahead and do a collective reading starting. And I'm actually going to use the Voyager Tarot, which I haven't touched in a while. So we'll see how that works. Jody, you're also tired today? Yeah, I don't know what the deal was. I had a session a little bit before this. Then I ate like an obscene amount of Chinese food. And now I'm back pulling cards. So we'll see what comes out. I don't know, but it has been feeling like really good energy. I've been very positive all day, very positive recently. The idea of sovereignty that keeps coming up really is, I think, playing itself out in my energy anyway, which is awesome. It's a no MSG place, Jody. I got no MSG. I'm thrilled. I also did not get any chicken, so it was vegetarian as well. Look at me. All right, guys. So let's get some cards for the general energy. Like I said, I'm going to start with the Voyager Tarot. If I'm not connecting to it, I'm going to move on. But I just picked it up and was like, I want to do this. So we'll figure it out. Hey, Flex, how are you? Flex, 2 nights ago, I could not sleep either. It was awful. It was awful. Like literally my legs would not stop moving. I kept getting up. I had pain in my lower back and in my abdomen. And by the next morning it was gone. So I don't know what the deal is there. Hi, Julia. All right. So ask Source Creator for some cards to give us a little bit of an idea of the collective energies at this time on April 11th. Collective energies, please. So we've got the 8 of Cups and we've got the 8 of Crystals. And I think in this deck, the crystals are like swords. So I feel like the cards. So this deck has some different words on their cards. Over the 8 of Cups, they actually have stagnation, which is kind of weird to me. And then on the 8 of Crystals, they have synthesis. What it feels like to me is a pause in just sort of a slight panicking before stepping out onto like a new adventure. Like, so say you're moving away from something. For me personally, I'm moving toward kind kind of a new stage in the development of one of my businesses, right? And I am absolutely in that stage of like just sort of that pause before jumping into it because I know it's going to be so much work when I jump into it. So I feel like that it's possible that we are in that kind of energy now, whether your change that's coming in is about relationships, career, family, or your own, I'm hearing that somebody's thinking somebody's going to be moving in the next like month or so, and that there's a little bit of that kind of energy there. So I don't know if one of you are moving, but that definitely is coming out here. Okay. Yes, thank you, Jody. Please do take a moment to like this video. That helps other people find us. And it helps get some more viewers on my channel, basically. We have the Five of Wands coming out with the Five of Crystals. Lovely. So I do think that maybe that pause is really about like this mental and internal conflict about the kind of work and the work that we're jumping into. And it is going to be work, whatever it is that we're trying to change up in our lives. If you're packing up everything you own and loading it up and moving it to a different place, that is a lot of work. And so there's this energetic hesitation. I don't think there's a true hesitation. Like it's like what needs to happen, but you're kind of avoiding the discomfort. So that is coming out here for sure. Oh, I didn't show you the cards. Here are the cards. What else? What else is coming up for the collective right now at this time? I'm hearing this kind of, how many days or weeks? I'm hearing about 5 days. So I don't know if something moves like astrologically in 5 days. Anybody who knows that stuff might be able to tell us if anybody on the channel like pays attention to that stuff. 5 days, a little bit more energy opens up. I'm not saying that it's going to go full steam ahead, but more energy will open up in about 5 days is what I'm hearing. More for the collective, please. Actually, they're telling me to choose from here. More information about this message for the collective, please. Okay, Priestess. How are you being called to step up and lead? So talk about like a period of pause before a lot of work. This is like stepping into a leadership role of some kind, and it could just be leader of your own life, but really making those choices, having made those choices, really making good on them and following through. Let's see, what else wants to come up here? Somebody else is cleaning out their parents' house or something, like maybe parents either moved or passed away or something, but there's definitely a cleaning out of someone's house. Okay, so we have the Nine of Wands with the Three of Crystals coming up here, and that really feels like it does feel like the end of like or getting closer to the end of a cycle of heartbreak. Like that's like the literal meaning of those two things. I'm just trying to integrate like the Nine of Wands, this deck is calling integrity, and the Three of Crystals, which is the Three of Swords, this deck is calling creativity. So very different meanings. And I feel like out of that heartbreak that you've just gone through, the cycle that you're ending, it's like you are able then to, as we were talking about last week, manifest from a place of integrity, manifest from a higher timeline. So it's like allowing that cycle of emotional. I'm trying not to repeat the word heartbreak, but they are saying something else. Emotional um, distortion. I couldn't tell if they were saying damage or distortion, but damage seemed weird. So emotional distortion that is coming to an end, and you'll be able to start manifesting from a higher timeline because you are um, decontorting those parts of your subconscious, if that makes sense. You're no longer assuming that, or hopefully you're no longer assuming that this heartbreak is coming in, or that this failure is coming in, or whatever that might be for you, if we're talking about a job or school or whatever. um okay, these cards are actually working for me, but I sort of like feel panicky and want one of my regular decks. Let's go with Scalia. Okay. Whatever messages do we have coming up for the collective? Yeah, the Nine of Swords here. I'm feeling like that's actually going to be the end of that kind of emotional fear. And yeah, the Nine of Wands coming up again right here. So I do feel that this cycle ending. So there's really a break, something opening up for all of us. What is this? What is this change in our energy? What do we expect with this change at the end of this cycle that's coming up shortly? What can we expect? Okay, Knight of Cups with Judgment. So in what way or in what relationship are you going to get another chance to first of all, it's going to be another chance to come back around and open something up, communicate something, really communicating on the heart level. So it might not be in words, or it could be in words. It could just be um, I'm just honestly, I'm getting the feeling of a hug or something like that, more like physical touch here. But I also feel like this is um, causes a transition of sorts. This causes a transmutation in energy. So it could be that um, you are coming in contact with a person or people, and that your energy or their energy or both of your energies are actually creating a, I'm only seeing like a release of energy. Okay. So we all know that that's how twin flames work, or divine complements or whatever. But I feel like this is for the greater collective as well. That as you raise your vibration, you become more of a, uh, I want to say trigger point, but it's almost like you almost become like radioactive or something, like not in a negative sense, but in the sense that that your energy starts to affect everyone else's energy and cause changes in it in a positive way. So you start, and I think this is about that 100th monkey effect, where you start to affect everyone around you as the number of people in a high vibration grows and grows and grows and grows. Okay. Page of Cups with Page of Swords and Six of Swords. If you, okay, so there is a personal message coming through for somebody. If you have children and you have been concerned about them and how they're being affected emotionally, regarding it could be a divorce or a breakup or something like that. Uh, they are they are going to be okay. They're moving into calmer waters with the Six of Swords showing up here. Um, it's a I feel like it's a girl and a boy. So if you're watching and you have a girl and a boy and you're going through a divorce, those kids are going to be okay. Flex says, feels like I'm on a higher timeline. Started a new job today. Awesome. Unexpectedly got it Tuesday. That's amazing. So that's great. You might absolutely be, because I've been feeling the same way. And it really feels like we're starting to manifest from a higher timeline. So that's really important. Um, for other people, this I do feel like this is a personal message for somebody. So if anybody here again has a girl and a boy or two kids going through a divorce, they're going to be okay. You're bringing them into a better situation than they were coming out of, or it could be you and a child moving away, either physically moving, changing something about your living situation. But that really goes for everybody. I do feel like, again, this is that, like Flex is talking about, this is that higher timeline moving forward. Okay. It's important to watch your emotions right now. Um, and they're saying it's because that those could easily drive you back down into a lower timeline. It doesn't mean you're going to get stuck there, but we constantly shift all the time, and it has to do with the energy that you're holding, and so your emotions are going to affect that. And if you get into this energy of, like, rage or frustration, anger, feeling really frustration is really the energy that's coming through here. um you're going to definitely need to balance yourself out, just get a hold of that in some way. And I feel like it's about coming out of your head and into your heart. So this is a weird way to interpret this card, but that's how it's coming through for me right now. So get out of your head and get into your heart when that happens, and that's going to help keep your timeline high, keep your vibration high. And Oh, wow. Casa, that might be for you then. Interesting. Um, do keep your vibration high and stay in a state of balance, and make sure that you are caring. I'm definitely getting a message about self-care right now, that you really need to be extra careful to make sure that you're balancing your own energy and you're making sure that you're getting the rest that you need. That's probably for me directly, because I am really bad about that. I have two full-time jobs, and do my best to, in that time, create all this free content, take care of all my animals, and do martial arts and visit with my family. I do a terrible job of taking care of my, like my resting needs, so I need to be better about that. But this is a message for everyone, talking about self-care, especially if you're feeling physically overwhelmed with the way the energies are shifting right now. um, or mentally, or emotionally, any of those things. So bring yourself back, even if you do dip into a lower timeline. Thank you so much, Casa. I appreciate that. Even if you do dip into a lower timeline, or go back. I mean, we're going back into 3D all the time, a bunch of times during the day. So do not be discouraged by that, but just know, like, gently pull yourself back up, and that's really just the only way to deal with it. Um, If anybody, I don't know if it's for anybody here, if it's just for somebody that I know or spent a lot of time with, if anybody's overly concerned about chemtrails, I don't know why the word chemtrails just came in my mind. If you're overly concerned about, I'm actually hearing now, I know nothing about it, not part of conspiracy theory stuff, like it just doesn't interest me. I'm hearing from right now that it's not, um whoever it is that's really worried about it, you're worrying way too much. Like, you're actually harming yourself far more than a chemtrail could, by the amount of attention that you're placing on it, and by taking your attention away from it, it actually lessens the power. Okay, that you can be creating these webs of fear that you're trapping yourself in, and then bringing your own vibration down. So I don't know if that's for any of you guys, for somebody who will watch us in the future, or for somebody who knows me. I don't know, but just take that as it resonates, I guess, or so they say. All right, so let's get What new is coming in for us this week? Thanks. That's not what I wanted to see. I'll show you in a second. Let me get some more cards. What new is coming in for us this week? Okay. So if you get some conflicting personalities or conflicting energies in your sphere, we've got the Page of Wands with the Page of Coins and the Five of Swords. I feel like this is why all this information about just getting yourself balanced and not, if you find yourself in the energy of frustration, bringing yourself, hi, Sea Anemone, bringing yourself back to balance, because it could be that we've got some like slightly bumpier energies ahead for other individuals. So you just have to act out of unconditional love with those people and detach, because it's not about you. It truly is not about you. That's just one of those things you always have to remember. People are acting out issues that come from themselves, and it really is not about you. So if that comes up this week, if you're dealing with conflicting energies from people who are relatively, I'm feeling like these are the unawakened, these are maybe the these are the very 3D, maybe a little immature, not to judge people, but that's just what I'm getting at, because these are page energies. There might be some unrest in the masses. So be aware of that again, and just take care to keep yourself balanced and let it roll. Just let it roll off as much as you can. Certainly stick up for yourself if that's necessary. Always stand in your own sovereignty, but never let anybody, don't let anybody shake you like that. If they do, it's okay. Don't beat yourself up for it. Just bring yourself back to balance. Sea Anemone. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I was kind of getting a work environment, to be honest with you, out of those cards. Maybe like extended family, but I was getting more work environment. Okay, what positive new stuff do we get to look forward to in this next week, please? Positive new stuff for this next week. Okay, I love it. Wheel of Fortune is coming up. Four of Cups is coming up, and Justice is coming up. So if there's anything that's really been stuck and not moving forward, stuff is going to get this energy here that we're just talking about is shaking some stuff loose. So some things that have been stuck are getting shaken loose and moving forward in a like a balanced fashion, or a prescribed way, or in the way that they're supposed to. So we might be talking about certain karmic things starting to balance out. This is absolutely can be discontent in a relationship or in a job. Somebody being discontented in the position that they're in and falling. I burped again. Like what? Okay. Falling between Wheel of Fortune and Justice, that feels like fated events, and it feels like big stuff. So I think that, this energy is breaking that free. I don't know if you'll see the results of it this week, but I do feel like the potential for that stuff to get pushed and shaken up is very high. This could also be a second message here is the Mercury, or not the Mercury, the Jupiter retrograde. This is just it in the sort of stationary and stuck position, not necessarily stationary, but stationary like nowish, and then going retrograde. So this feels like that, but I feel like through that process, there's a lot of equalizing taking place on the internal level. Okay, whatever that means to you, those are exactly the words I was just fed. So equalizing taking place on an internal level. Does anybody have any collective questions they want me to ask? Let me get, what are we releasing this week? What are we releasing this week? What are we releasing this week? Eight of Cups. We are walking away from something and walking towards something better. So I'm feeling like I'm actually being shown like a map with the road divided in three sections. Okay. And this is like the last section. So it could be that we've been moving away from whatever this is for a time. And this is sort of that, after this pause, this is that final movement forward. And I always say final, and I'm like, don't say final because nothing's ever final. But like in whatever cycle we're in, this is that last movement forward before the new cycle begins, whatever that's going to be. Okay. Tarot, tell us something really cool. Tell us something really cool. That's a lot of cards, but okay. For those of you who are divine counterparts or complements, Flex, I'll get your question in just a second. For those of you who are divine complements and you have a twin in a karmic situation, I have a feeling that it might look very much like nothing is happening, but you'll see that, like, I don't know what plant that is, but I'm seeing it as like a mistletoe, like hanging over this person that's between in the swords. And the cards that came out after that were the devil with the 10 of coins, the lovers, and the 7 of swords. I feel like something is happening that you're not being given the privilege to see at this point. And it's almost like this is like the carrot, you know, for you to hang on and just wait for what is going to eventually be revealed. Like there is more than meets the eye to that situation. Hey Kayla, how are you? I think everybody's situation is a little different, so I'm not getting a lot more about that. But I think this was like, because I asked, hey, Tarot, tell me something cool. This is like the carrot for us to know that this is taking place, even if it's not immediately obvious to us. And it feels like things are still stagnant. There's this like mistletoe there. There's like this gift that's coming up. And there's this karmic battle going on in these other situations outside of ourselves. Okay. See an enemy. I feel like things are slowly unfurling. Yep, that makes sense. And that's what this really feels like. And it just feels like we're not going to see it yet, but hang on, you're going to see it soon, which is obnoxious because how many times have we all heard that? But still. Okay. So let's see, Flex. What energies are coming in our mental space? Feels like in between worlds right now. Okay, that is a good question. Just go with this regular old psychic tarot of the heart. What energies are coming in our mental space? What energies are coming in our mental space? This freaking Eight of Cups keeps coming up, moving on. So no wonder you feel in between worlds. This makes total sense. This is moving from the last thing to the next thing, you know? Ideally knowing what it is that you want, but sometimes you might not. You just might be moving from that one thing that is a no to something that you're like, this is going to suck less. But hopefully you are moving toward that thing that you want, because the Nine of Cups is the wish card. So hopefully you're moving toward your Nine of Cups. Okay. Let's get a little more for the mental space. Okay. I think you are moving toward what it is that you want, but it might be something that you resisted, or that you didn't realize you wanted for a while, with the Hanged Man coming up with the Sun card. It's like illumination. Now you know, now you're aware. Okay? And you may have made some choices to move. So your mental space is very much in transition. I feel a touch of dullness right now. And it could simply be, I'm hearing that it is kind of a protective measure, because of the way that things are just really like all over the place. So your mind might actually be detaching a little bit. And that's okay. Sometimes that's just shielding you from all the crazy that's going on, especially if you're transitioning going through any kind of transition at all, or a lot of stress. It's probably actually literally compartmentalization. Oh, look what's on the bottom. Love. Okay, give me 1 second here. Let me see. I'm going to start taking personals in just a second. Okay. Jody, you are first. Messages from my DM. Okay, there's that. And I actually want this other deck now. I am so skitsy with these decks today. The first message is, I think he's really dissatisfied where he is. He knows it. Kayla, before you came on, I was talking about somebody was getting ready to move. It must be you. Okay, messages from Jody. Come on, cards. What else is coming up? Okay. Yeah, this makes sense. All right, he's super unhappy where he is. Okay. He does see that there are other opportunities, but he's really in that, okay, you know how I was talking about before, how we're in this weird like pendulum state, like where we're like waiting. It's almost like we're the still pendulum and we're waiting to be pushed or something like that. And so what I'm seeing here is that he's just He's in this state of absolute, like, just fucking done, and yet he's holding on to it because I feel like there's this what the feeling that I'm getting is this overwhelm, this feeling of exasperation with the whole thing, and really knowing how much work it will take to change his situation. Again, back to that, like, knowing we're going to have to step into doing a lot of work. And so it's like right on the brink of that surrender with the 10 of Wands there. It's feeling that complete and utter overwhelm and just being done with all of that. Um, I feel like there's a lot of pressure right now. So I feel like I also feel like Jody that he is saying that part of the pressure is there. I think he may be a little concerned about how much of his physical wealth he may lose in his situation. Kind of feeling a little bit of that, like that a big chunk of it might be lost to him. Okay. So this is a little bit like sit tight, but yeah, this is definitely in that same energy that I was reading at the beginning of the reading. Hey Lana. Okay. Let's see here. Oops. Okay. All right. Did I see? Okay. We are taking personal questions now, guys. I am reading, even if you don't make a donation is absolutely appreciated. But even if you don't, I am still reading those donations, or those questions. Just the donations get priority. So let's see what else wants to come out here in the meantime. Um, okay, Jody, the other card that came out for you was play, and that's have fun, celebrate, don't be so serious. So in some ways, I feel like number one, it probably really is about lighten up, like um, get that whole situation off your mind a little bit. But I also find it hilarious that it says celebrate in this particular situation. I'm just saying. Let's see. Okay, so we have no more questions coming up tonight, and I am rather tired. Oh, Shadow Keaton has one, so I'll pull one for you. All right, let's see. What do I need to do moving forward? Shadow Keaton wants to know what do I need to do moving forward? Okay. You got three cards that came out: the Devil with the Moon and the Six of Pentacles. So that's a huge. So you've got some karmic, like some karmic stuff coming up, some things that are holding you back, and that thing. There's going to be stuff that you've been afraid of that is holding you back. Yeah, it's something that you have been fearful of, and I feel like you need to bring that fear into check and realize that a lot of your fears are really just your imagination playing out, and it's not actually reality. Okay. With the pentacles here, I feel like this balance is more grounded and firm in reality, whereas this fear is what's holding you back. So um I feel like it's a very big fear. So whatever that is, it's very likely that it's one of your biggest fears. You're kind of going to know what it is. I feel like the message here is I'm hearing that you need to step out of your comfort zone and that it's not as bad as you think it's going to be, okay? I don't want you to obviously throw caution to the wind or anything like that, but there's something about the way that you're seeing the situation which is not accurate and is really putting you more in fear than you need to be, okay? I hope that makes sense. Hey, okay, lots of people coming in. Anna, um, Unicole, I love that name. Oh, good. You had the Voyager deck too. Yeah, I started with that one. Amy, Eleni, awesome. Thank you so much, guys, for being here. Actually, I'm wrapping up now because that was my last question. Unless anybody else has one, I'll go another couple minutes. Otherwise, we will. Actually, I'm not going to be doing a live next week. I'm going to be out of town for work. So it'll be 2 weeks before I do another live. I'm going to get just a couple more cards really quickly. Eleni wants to know what should be the next. Oh, no. Eleni says, can I ask what's happening in my relationship? Okay, we'll do a quick one for that. Okay, these are going to be the last questions, and there are 4, 5. Oh my God, guys, 6. Okay, that's the end. Okay, Anna is the last one. Eleni, can I ask what's happening in my relationship? As always, if you are able to make an energy exchange donation of any amount, does not need to be a lot. It really helps to balance my time that I give for free and also get compensated for. So I absolutely appreciate that. And if you don't, it's okay too. I understand. And I appreciate all of you just being here. So, okay. Let me get another card. So what I've got first is the World card. So something is wrapping up here, but not in a bad way. It's either that, you guys are coming into a new phase of your relationship and life. Oh, my niece is calling. Should I answer it? Hey, Sophia, I'm live. What's going on?
Oh, sorry. I had something like really serious happen, and
Okay.
I kind of need to talk to you about it when you're available again.
Okay, I'll be off in about no more than 15 minutes.
Okay, awesome.
Okay, bye. All right, my niece needs to talk to me. Okay, so I do feel like you're hitting the end of some cycle. I don't know if that's the end of the relationship. I don't really think it is. I think that you're ending this and you're starting something new. So if you are considering something like moving or moving in together or moving to a new place or taking it to another level, like that's kind of where I'm feeling it because I'm getting this ending with this new beginning. You might know more about what that means. It's a small new beginning though, because it's a page. It's not like it's the Ace of Wands. So whatever it is kind of like it might be new for you. It kind of feels a little uncertain, to be honest. It doesn't feel like a bad thing necessarily. Yeah, I just feel like it is, it's like a new phase for you somehow. It may be that you've been through some difficult stuff and that's kind of wrapping up and then you're starting fresh. It could be like that. So I hope that that makes some sense to you. Getting more serious. Okay. So I think that's what it is because you've got this page of wands and that the wands is sort of passionate energy, but it's like small passion. And not small because it's small passion, but small because it's the beginning of a new cycle of that. Okay. All right. So moving on to the next question. Sea anemone, what should be the next step in my journey? For sea anemone, what should be the next step in her journey? All right. So I've got the 10 of swords here is the first thing that came out. So there may be something that's like some kind of painful situation that's ending or wrapping up for you. Um, but you also have the Knight of Wands, the King of Cups. A whole bunch came out here. So I'm not going to directly read each and every card, but it's the Seven of Wands with the Six of Swords, the Five of Pentacles, and the High Priestess. So what I'm kind of feeling like here is that while one phase of something might have ended, maybe another relationship, maybe something completely different. There's something difficult that you've been through, or maybe it's just been a really rough period of waiting and uncertainty and all that kind of stuff. It's been painful and has really left you kind of mentally exhausted and done. But I do feel like there is a restart here. It may be with this King of Cups energy. It may be in a relationship, or it could be, in your own sense of self-love, leaving this sort of defensive behavior where you were not sure what was going on. And so therefore you placed walls around yourself and moving into a much better energy. You do have to be careful about your mindset. I'm feeling that this is about a mindset or your energy that you're attracting because you are still holding some of that lack mentality, some of that feeling of not, whatever it was that was not working or happening or coming to you. Um, you're going to have to let go of that period of your life so that you can really usher in this new period. I hope that makes sense. Let's see. Put all these back in the deck so I have them. Who was next? Jen, what do I need to know, understand this week? Okay, what does Jen need to know or understand this week? What does Jen in the chat need to know or understand this week? Jen in the chat needs to know or understand this. Oops. You've got the Three of Wands with the Eight of Wands and the Page of Cups. So something that you've been trying to manifest is going to start coming in fairly quickly. That might be communication from someone, Jen. I hate to promise that because if it doesn't happen, or if you think about it too much now, and then you like energetically push it away out of excitement or fear or whatever, I hate to say that, but it does really feel like something that you've been trying to manifest is coming in. The Eight of Wands often does mean communication, as can the Prince of Cups. However, this can also just be something that you have really wanted and desired and just really had a heart's desire for, that you've been working for and moving toward. Okay. So your advice for this week, I think actually what I'm hearing is that you've done the manifestation, that you should kind of back away from it and allow the universe to work on it, if that makes any sense to you. Let's see. Okay, Flex, can I get a message from my guides? So a message from Flex's guides, please. 10 of Cups. You're definitely on your way. You're getting there step by step. And I feel like what I'm hearing is like a huge pat on the back, like you're really making progress. Let's get one of these. Birthing a new age, birthing new creations, dreaming a new world into being. So that makes total sense with that transitional phase that we're in, that sort of moving toward that thing that you want, right? Going from the Eight of Cups to the Nine of Cups. And this being like, it says, dreaming a new world into being. And this is like that dream. This is what the focus is. So I feel like you're well on your way. You've got your energy really becoming finely tuned to what you're trying to accomplish, what you're trying to do. And I think that that's the key, is like, instead of the trying to do, it's just like you're flowing with it more. So that is definitely huge. So that is great confirmation for you, that you're on the right track. Any messages for me about a job or my finances? Casa. Any messages about job or finance for Casa? This one wants to come. Okay. Okay, you've got the Six of Cups with the Four of Wands. So this is actually pretty positive. Finance-wise, we're talking about finances. So this actually makes me feel like you're not in a completely unstable position, but I also feel like you might think about going back to what you love, whatever it is that, was the first thing that you really loved doing. Like maybe that's what you need to go back to, and maybe that's what creates this stability. So think about doing what you love instead of just doing whatever to bring the money in. You want it to be something that you want to stay with long term. Okay. I feel like if you dig deep, you may know what this is. And I feel like, you might have had a job when you were younger, like as a teenager or a young adult or something that you truly, truly loved. It might really be a dream that you have to build, but I really kind of feel like this is not, I feel like there might be something that you can step into relatively quickly. Okay. So I don't feel like you're building a new business or anything like that necessarily. I just heard it will make you feel young again. So whatever that means, and I don't even know what age you are, but for whatever reason, that's what they wanted to say for you. Okay. Anna, please pull a card for me. So for Anna. Card for Anna, please. Get another one. Actually, I'm going to pull one of these instead. Okay, pillar of light. Your vibration is rising. You are the oracle. And Imrama, where are you being called to journey to? And finally, the Four of Pentacles. This is an extremely scattered set of cards. Anna, I don't know what the hell's going on with you, but it might be that it's time to take a little time for yourself and take a little time away, possibly even going on a vacation or a journey and actually allowing yourself to spend this money. Because I do feel like, you can, your vibration is rising. You are going to start bringing in more abundance coming up. And I think that allowing yourself to move the flow of energy by okay, so spending money brings more money in. I don't know if that makes any sense, but it's like that energy flow, the give and the take. And it's it's almost like, allowing yourself that joy and that rest will help with that. I also feel like there's an additional message about journeying on the spiritual level that, you um, don't have to be, if you are doing that or think that you're doing that or have been thinking about that, or even if you haven't, this is about leaving any fears behind of like clutching on to the 3D world and allowing yourself to make that kind of spiritual journey. So there are definitely two messages there. I do think that they want you to have, you don't seem like you lack for fun in your life, but maybe there is a trip that you want to take or something. They are really, this is Petra in Jordan. Oh, you can't see the cards, but I've been to this building, so I know what it is. And it's this very magical place. So I almost feel like they want you to allow yourself to do things that are magical and exotic or something like that, to allow yourself to have some very special experiences coming up here. Okay. I am not seeing comments because, okay. All right, gosh. Okay, guys, I'm going to end it for tonight because I'm very tired, but I really appreciate you all being here. And I am not going to be going live next week. I will be out of town, and I will definitely post for when I will be going live again. Okay. So I am looking forward to talking to you next time, and good night. Bye.